And joining me now to unpack all of this is former FBI senior official and former U.S. Attorney Chuck Rosenberg, who is an NBC News legal analyst. Chuck, you're going to be a regular here on the show at this point. We may have to call you a co-host. So explain this to me. Why now did the Attorney General choose to make David Weiss a special counsel when, again, I go back, the same rationale he used for Donald Trump's special counsel clearly applies to here.
And by the way, Mr. Garland had described David Weiss's running room as sort of plenary, right? That he had the independence he needed to make his own decisions in the case. So why give him this extra title? It seems somewhat cosmetic to me, Chuck.
So is there additional tools that he has now that he didn't have before? What are those tools? At
the edges, yes. It means he can bring charges in other districts on his own signature. But frankly, he could have done that if he needed to previously. So again, I think the right word here is cosmetic. It doesn't really change the tilt of the earth.
So then the motivation here for the Attorney General is simply is he worried that the cases against Trump were going to look biased if he didn't do this?
Well, there seemed to be a drumbeat to appoint a special counsel to investigate at least Hunter Biden, if not the Biden family. Mr. Weiss, the special counsel, now has the authority to take the investigation wherever he thinks it ought to go. There's a problem, I think, generally with the special counsel regulations. And there's another problem that worries me even more. It's this. I don't think Mr. Biden or Mr. Trump, for that matter, should be treated any better or any worse than any other person under investigation. They both deserve to be treated fairly. Whatever you may think of them, they deserve to be treated fairly. Special counsels, though, bring an intense focus on just one or two people, and that can be corrosive.
And it's almost, so then what you're saying is almost as unfair. They're not getting treated the way others would be treated by the Justice Department.
Right, and so that worries me. And to appoint a special counsel, an attorney general has to find extraordinary circumstances.
He keeps finding extraordinary circumstances, quite a few.
Which makes me think it's becoming rather ordinary. We've had 5 special counsel in the last 6 years. And I don't mean this in any way against those individuals. They're principled people. They were doing the jobs they were asked to do. Rather, I worry institutionally whether having so many special counsel under so many quote-unquote sets of extraordinary circumstances corrodes the department.
It seems to undermine the whole rationale of putting a former federal judge. The whole point was to try to take the politics out of this, and he is essentially conceding he is perceived to be too biased to oversee these cases.
Yeah, I
mean, that's what it looks like. I know that's not what he's saying.
That's not what he's saying, but I think it's a great point, and it goes to a larger issue. So the design of the Department of Justice, Chuck, the design is that it be staffed by career people, that the political layer is extraordinarily thin. FBI has almost 40,000 men and women. One is a political appointee. Every U.S. attorney's office in the country has at most, one political appointee.
Very quickly on Donald Trump's attorneys arguing for what he can and can't say. The judge, everybody's been wondering, what is the stick? How is she going to try to enforce any penalties? Moving up the trial date seemed to be an interesting stick that she chose to use. Do you think that's probably effective enforcement?
Well, you might be able to say the shorter the period between now and the trial date, the less damage he can do by speaking publicly about the case. She's in a tough spot because he absolutely has a right to campaign and he has First Amendment rights. On the other hand, you can't interfere with the fair administration of justice or tamper with witnesses. So she's going to have to watch this very closely, but it's not an easy thing for her to do.
All right. Chuck Rosenberg getting us started this morning again. Again, the courtrooms instead of the primary trial. Mr. Rosenberg, thank you, sir.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.